early this morning. This morning I woke up about 2 o'clock and decided to check on the wood stove. It was plenty hot in there, but I didn't want it to go out. So I raked the coals and threw a small stick of wood in there. And it was, even though 2 o'clock in the morning is quiet, it was too quiet. It felt like something was not quite right. So I opened the door to the house and listened, see if I could hear anything see anything that wasn't quite right. Didn't hear anything, but I decided to put my boots on and step out onto the deck and take a good listen. Nothing. So I went back in, started making some coffee, and no, something wasn't quite right. Nothing, it was just, something was off. So I got on my hat and my headlamp, put my boots back on, put my vest on, and walked out to the coop. Everything was quiet until I got almost to the chicken, what I call the chicken bridge. And the guinea just started going spastic inside their coop. You could hear them banging off the sides of the wall and inside the door. And if you ever heard a guinea or a bunch of guineas when they do the danger alert sound, it's very noisy. But then you have them banging off the inside of the coop walls. So I went over and opened the door, and there wasn't a guinea on the roost. They were all on the floor, and they were just banging. They were flying up a couple of feet and banging into the wall because guinea can't see at night. And so I looked all around, looked on the floor, because they would run and they would jump right straight up like something was underneath their feet. And the only thing I could think of was, geez, maybe a rat moved in, or maybe a weasel found its way in. So I looked, didn't see anything. Looked all around the coop, nothing clinging to the walls or the roof of the coop, but nothing. So I went out, closed the door back up, thought I would walk around the coop. There was no fresh tracks in the snow, nothing. So I turned back around, and by that time I was in between the duck coop and the guinea coop, and chickens share both, whatever they choose that night. And something hit me. Something from behind hit me right at the base of the neck. You know where your shoulders are and your neck comes down? Well, that bulby bone right there. Something hit me right there. Something hit my hat, sending my headlamp off to the side and down. So the impact made me lurch forward. But I didn't see what it was. By the time I got my headlamp back and looked all around, I couldn't see anything. So I went back in the coop, thinking, well, I've been attacked by an owl before and lived to tell about it. So I went back into the coop to check things out. Well, by that time, even though it was dark and 2 o'clock in the morning, the guinea wanted out through the door, and so did the chicken. One guinea went out by my leg, and a chicken flew up, and I caught it between my knees, and before I got a chance to reach for it, she scooted out between my knees and landed about 5 feet from me on the chicken bridge. So I turned around to take a step on the stairs there, the steps, and I was going to go pick her up and bring her in. Next thing I knew, an owl came and grabbed her right by the neck and killed her instantly. So the only thing I didn't have anything with me but my mouth. My mouth was going. So I had a empty grain pail that I keep hung up in the coop for whatever. And I took that and I threw it at the owl. It had already killed the bird, but I wanted the bird to eat. If it was going to kill it, then I was going to eat it. So I threw the pail at the owl, which by that time was standing right on top of the chicken. And it picked the chicken up, it flew, and it flew about 20 feet and landed in the snow. And it was standing on top of the chicken looking right at me. So I had a shovel there and I threw the shovel at it. I just wanted away from my bird. Even though the bird was already dead, I wanted away from my bird. So the owl just stood there and just looked at me. So I'm like, well, maybe it was blinded by my headlamp. So I shut my headlamp off. And next thing I knew, I look up, even though my headlamp was on, so the owl wasn't blinded by my headlamp. It appeared to want me, and it was protecting its fresh kill. Next thing I knew, I turned my headlamp on just to see that owl about 5 feet from me, coming right at my face. So I ducked, and when I ducked, apparently I ducked fast, so either my hood raised up or it was up a little bit, and either the wing caught my hood or one of its feet caught my hood or both of the feet caught my hood. I don't know which, but next thing I knew, it had my hood stretched straight out. And of course, this came right up next to my throat really hard and really fast. And just like being clotheslined. That's the only thing I could think of. Just like being clotheslined. I felt it. And even though I was bent over, it backed me up a step. So, but then it went right back and landed right on top of the chicken. So it was definitely protecting its fresh kill. So I had another shovel, and I threw that at it, because it was a big barn shovel, so, they're kind of gummy, and you can't throw them very far, and you can't throw them accurate. But I weren't trying to kill it. I weren't trying to hurt it. I was just trying to get it to go away. So finally it went away. I got the bird. But at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:15 in the morning, I had to skin a bird. All it did was break its neck. It didn't break through the skin. It didn't even damage any feathers. It just broke the chicken's neck. So owls will attack you. I know they get blinded by headlights, lamp lights. I know they will protect their prey. And I have had 2 winters ago, I used to do a lot of walking after dark, and I still do, but not as often. I've had owls come in and take my hat off my head and fly a few feet and drop it. And I've had them swoop, and I've had the wing feathers come and brush up against my cheek. It was all after dark. But that hadn't happened for a couple of years. Now my cousin Shay, who lives, through the woods and over the woods and through the river, or through the woods and over the river, she had a great horned owl and this is what this was too. It was a great horned owl. Come down and swoop just above her head in daylight. So, and that was in winter, I think. So, I don't know if you've ever seen a bird of prey's beak, or a bird of prey's, I don't know what you call them, their claws, their talons, I don't know what you call them. But they are razor sharp, and they could do some damage. If I hadn't ducked, I don't know. I don't know what that owl would have done. It could have, it could have come at me like I was a big prey, and it could have sliced my face all up with its claws. So I've been up ever since, and I'm expecting company at some point, maybe today, maybe not. They sound like they were coming today. Remember that? There's a guinea down, there's a video down below somewhere in the playlist of how I found a guinea that I found in the woods dead. Looked like its neck was broken. It could have been an owl. It could have carried it over there and after it broke its neck and just got tired of, you know, flying it that far and just could have dropped it or just left it for another meal. I don't know. So, but anyway, that guinea there, the young lady that wanted that skeleton, she's going to be coming and getting that at some point, whether today or another day. But the guinea that ran out of the coop, that's fine. It went into a little cubby that I made and keep hay in there for them because the guinea like to go in there. So it went in there and I checked on it and it was way over in the corner. It was cowered down. It had its head tucked down and it was shaking. It was so scared. So, but that's that. Owls do attack for one reason or another. So